of the onboard electronics, including the navigation equipment, avionics, and weapons systems. With a disabled missile system and no way to defend against this unknown object, Jafari considers ditching his plane.
I thought if it comes closer than 4 or 5 miles, I'm going to jump out.
But before Jafari has to make that fateful decision, the object reverses direction and once again returns to the larger craft.
When it moved away from me, I could see the main object there and went right underneath of it and disappeared.
Having just endured a harrowing engagement with multiple UFOs over the dark skies north of Tehran, Major Jafari decides it is no longer safe to continue tracking this mysterious diamond-shaped object. He is granted permission to return to Tehran, but as he descends, he realizes a second chapter of his encounter is about to unfold.
When I was on descent, again another of these round shape was chasing me.
As Jafari descends for his approach to Mehrabad Airport, he sees another small object chasing from behind. On his final approach, he looks over his shoulder and witnesses the object descending toward the desert floor.
I could see all of the sands on the ground. It was so bright, so bright.
Jafari is diverted from landing and is ordered to identify the object that has appeared to touch down near the airbase. According to both military and civilian eyewitnesses, the object is believed to have crash-landed just outside of Shemiran, Iran.
In a very fast speed toward the ground, which I thought I will see a very, very big explosion. But it didn't happen. The object came right on the ground and stopped there.
Upon landing at Mehrabad Airport, Parviz Jafari knew he would have to soon debrief his commanders about the night's events. What he didn't realize is that the Iranian military weren't the only ones interested in his encounter.
One of the American colonel was listening to me, writing, taking note.
How deeply was the CIA involved in this case and its cover-up?
When Jafari landed, there were American CIA agents and an Air Force colonel waiting for him to debrief him.
Seen on television for the first time ever, the unclassified official military report. Why did this document go all the way to the White House? And what was found the next day at the crash site? Over Iran in 1976, Major Parviz Jafari has a harrowing dogfight encounter with what he thinks is a UFO. Upon landing, he was debriefed by high-ranking Iranian military officials. There was also an American CIA agent present. The agent filed a report, which is now unclassified, that was distributed to the CIA, the Air Force, the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Defense, and the White House. It was titled, quote, "Iran reported UFO sighting." According to the report, a UFO was seen about 11 p.m. on September 18, 1976. Besides Jafari's sighting, the control tower received, quote, 4 telephone calls from citizens living in the Shemiran area of Tehran, saying they had seen strange objects in the sky. Some reported a bird-like object, while others reported a helicopter. There were no helicopters airborne at that time. The report details and confirms Jafari's sighting, including the loss of his avionics. Quote, "As the F4 approached a range of 25 nautical miles, he lost all instrumentation and communications." The report further confirms that 2 objects were seen, one as big as, quote, "a 707 tanker," and again, quote, "The second object headed straight toward the F4 at a very fast rate of speed," and then, quote, "The pilot attempted to fire an AIM-9 missile at the object, but at that instant, his weapons control panel went off," and then, quote, "initiated a turn and negative G dive to get away." In a very curious ending to this event, the Department of Defense report says that the next day, the crew was taken by helicopter to an area where the object was seen to crash land by local residents. According to the report, the landing area is, quote, being checked for possible radiation. Further information about this case either never came or remains classified.
I saw it, so I have to believe it.
Impressed with Jafari's story and the detailed Department of Defense report, the team wants to dissect and test the three most critical elements of this case. First, the object appears to jump over 25 miles in an instant. Second, the object appears to release an orb that approaches Jafari at a speed faster than anything man-made. And third, what would it take to shut down all of the electronics on one of the world's most advanced fighter jets at the time, the F4E-Phantom? The team, along with their flight consultant, former Air Force flight test engineer Bill Scott, feel the very best way to test and understand this event is through a practical demonstration using actual fighter planes. The team is at Air Combat USA in Orange County, California, the top aerial dogfight group in America. Their staff is made up of former military pilots with years of military flight experience.
My name is Ben Perks, ex-US Air Force.
I'm Michael von Piedinghoff, call sign Baron, and I was a captain in the German Air Force.
You're flying the CI Marchetti SF-260. It's an Italian light attack aircraft capable of dropping bombs, shooting rockets, and machine gun fire. The aircraft is rated at +6, -3 Gs. It goes about 270 miles per hour, and it flies just like a light attack fighter. It's the real deal.
The pilots, along with Bill Scott, have calculated that recreating this event at 25% scale would give the best results with this airplane, meaning they will fly at 25% of the speed and cover 25% of the distance.
We chose to use regular airplanes to try to duplicate some of these engagements because I think it really brings home to people the kind of dynamics involved in some of these engagements. Yes, we're using different types of aircraft. There are a lot of things we could not do with the Mach-Es, but it's very illustrative, I think.
Today we want to recreate the events. We will go out with 2 airplanes, and one of us will simulate the unidentified flying object. We don't want to get within 500 feet. That's our safety distance. In case of an emergency, we will have parachutes. We'll say bail out, bail out, bail out. That's our commander. We'll jettison the canopy. Okay, let's go fly.
All right, that works.
Bulletin ground, good afternoon. Command 1, flight of 3 with Quebec at a combat ready to taxi.
The pilots estimate it will take 13 minutes to reach their FAA-designated dogfight zone, high over the Pacific Ocean between Long Beach and Catalina Island. The dogfight begins.